you read Exodus chapter 4, verse 14, God appointed Aaron and called him, you and your brother, meaning that Aaron is a biological brother to Moses. Some Bible commentaries say he is Moses' elder brother. When Moses was going to Pharaoh, speaking to Pharaoh, let my people go. Anytime he's going, the person that speaks to Pharaoh is not Moses. It's the other way around. It was rather Aaron that Moses would tell him that God said, and Aaron will speak to Pharaoh. So Aaron was the one doing the translation and speaking to Pharaoh instead of Moses. Aaron saw all the 10 plagues that God brought upon the people of Egypt. Aaron saw all the miracles that God did to the people of Israel when they were crossing the Red Sea, and he knew that there's nothing that God cannot do. But in the book of Exodus chapter 32, the Bible says that when they crossed the Red Sea and they were in the wilderness, that God called on Moses to meet him at the mountain. Meaning that Moses went to the mountain to go and communicate with God, because God was going to give him the 10 commandments while he was on the mountain. The same Aaron who saw all the miracles, who saw all the testimonies, who saw all the breakthrough, who saw the mighty thing that God has done, decided, we cannot wait for Moses to come back again. The thing is that when the people start complaining and grumbling, he now told them, every one of you should bring the gold you are wearing in your ear. Meaning the gold that they got out of their miracle from Egyptians, they should bring it. And when the women brought it, that he used it to build a golden calf. How can somebody who sees God's miracle all of a sudden and change and begin to worship other gods? Some of us as Christians are like dogs and forget that God has been good to us, and we'll go back to eat our vomit. Aaron saw all these miracles, but when he had a small pressure from the people that he was left to take care of, they began to worship, began to put libation upon the golden calf. Aaron was a priest, a high priest, because God mandated him to be the priest that will make sacrifices. Whenever they want to offer sacrifice to the Lord, the priest will go into the presence of God that is called the holiest of holies. He puts the sacrifice around the altar and we begin to pray until fire comes, meaning that the priest has to wait patiently for God to send his fire and accept the sacrifice. But in the case of the 2 sons of Aaron, they couldn't wait for God to send the fire. So when they were going into the holiest of holies, the Bible said they carried their own fire in their hands. There are people who are praying every day, who cannot wait for God to answer their prayer, and they are bringing strange fire into their relationships. Strange fire simply means that you are trying to help God
to do his work.
Some of us tell God openly that God, we cannot wait for your time and your process. You can do the work of God without the God of the work. Simply means you can be strong and say, I'm a pastor. And meanwhile, the God that you are doing his work doesn't know you, looking at you like this. That is why God, Jesus said, at the end time, many will come in my name and say, I did miracle in your name, and he will say, I know you not. Because some of them are using strange fire to do the work of God. A lot of Christians are trying to wait for God instead of working with God. You can't work for God as a human being, because God is the one that created you. He knows in and out of you. How can you say you're working for your master instead of working with your master? There are pastors
Il a des pasteurs
who are doing juju, doing occultism, going to the water to go and sleep with mermaids, because they want power to prophesy and power to do miracles. Some pastors will get initiated and they sacrifice their own children because they want power. How they will go to the sin of sleeping at the cemetery? Because they want power to prophesy and preach to people, because they want many congregations. Some of them will go to the sin of doing certain things. Remember that whenever you go out of God's will and begin to do it in your own power, you are bringing strange fire. How can you claim to be working for God and you are going to seek to do power to work for God?
Thank you for watching this short video. The next video comes up shortly.
If you're a foreigner and you find yourself in Ghana, Francophones or Anglophone, you are an European, you are an American, I want to inform you that you have a home in Royal House of International. Write us on WhatsApp or on Instagram, send us messages or call the number that is coming now on the screen, and we'll personally receive you. Remember, if you're a foreigner, you have a home in Royal House of Prayer International French Ministry under the leadership of my father, Apostle Joseph Sankara. Join us
Every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Tuesdays, Restoration Hour, 5:30 to 8 p.m. All night sessions, last Friday of every month.